What happened was...
Hey friends, it's so nice to see you. It's today, the time is now. You are here and the weather is outside your window.
Tarde o temprano detiente su andar, y aunque el olvido que todo destruye haya matado mi vieja ilusión, guarda escondida una esperanza humilde que es toda la fortuna de mi corazón. Volver con la frente marchita, las nieves del tiempo platearon mi sien. Sentir que es un soplo la vida, que 20 años no es nada, que de abrir la mirada, errando en las sombras te busca y te nombra. Con el alma aferrada a un dulce recuerdo que lloro otra vez.
Today's guest is a tenor of international acclaim who is just wrapping up a recital tour and is about to star in Dallas Opera's Così fan tutte. Please welcome David Portillo to the show. Hi, David.
Hi, Zach.
How's it going?
I'm good. It's good to see your face.
Good to see yours. Where are you?
I'm in San Antonio, Texas, at my mom's house, at Peggy Portillo's house.
Oh, my goodness. Thanks for having us, Peggy.
Yeah, she's the best host ever.
Oh, is
There's-
there appetizers?
There's bowls of candy everywhere.
Okay, great. Then we're good.
Literally. Like it's like hard to get away from.
Well, thanks for taking this time to sit down and talk. You are in the middle of a recital tour in Texas and then starting rehearsal for Così fan tutte at Dallas Opera. So
Yes.
you're a busy man.
Hey, Texas brings some music.
Yeah.
It's
And
great.
You're a Texas native, yeah?
Yes, I'm from San Antonio. I grew up here, like 20 minutes away from where my mom lives now. And yeah, I did a recital here on Saturday at Trinity University downtown, and I had a whole group of people from my high school there, and it was surreal.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm singing Beethoven's An die ferne Geliebte. I know y'all don't know what this is, but I don't care.
And what was
Dude.
that? What was the response like? They must have been.
I mean, I came out and they were like cheering. It was like a football game for a second. And I was like, oh, like, but also like my graduate school voice teacher was there. And I was like, I bet he's like, what's happening in this corner over there? But it was so great to see everybody. It was like old homecoming week, and it was like a really fun recital. Also, the pianist and I have collaborated. Her name's Kristen Roach. She's in Appleton, Wisconsin at Lawrence University now as the opera director, and she's so great as a conductor of opera. And we just had a great time. We did, like I said, Beethoven. We did things from like Beethoven, and we did Britten's Cannibal 2 with Jackie Matava, the mezzo, who's awesome, who lives and teaches here.
Wow.
It was a very like full circle, wonderful moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. And do you like doing recitals as compared to opera? Like, what is that like for you, the back and forth between those two things?
Yeah. I mean, like, of course, they're way harder than they always seem.
Yes.
In the moment when you plan them, you're like, oh yeah, I'll put this together. And then the week of, you're like, what's happening? Why did I choose this? But they always end up being fine. You know, I think like if you have a method to the learning and to the rehearsals, and you just, I feel like if I get things done early, I always feel better about it. So I was lucky. I was just in Minnesota before I came here a week ago, and so I was close enough to Wisconsin where I went to go rehearse with Kristen.
Oh, that helps.
So I at least had like a couple of weeks to be like, oh, I don't know this as well, or oh, I need to look at this.
Right.
And some things I was like, oh, this is way better and easier. So
Oh, that's good. Yeah. It's I mean, there's a big kind of shift when you don't have a costume, you don't have lighting design, you don't have a set. Like I feel like those are things we get to hide behind, or they help us tell the story in a way. It can feel kind of naked out there as a recitalist.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the more I do them, I realize that all of those extra things are like also really, really important that I would like to add to a recital series. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure. Oh
and
yeah.
even just doing like Canticle 2 with somebody else on stage, I'm always like, oh my God, thank you.
Yeah. Team
You know,
partner.
somebody else
Yeah.
is here.
Yeah, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Oh yeah, yeah, well, that's so cool. And is this Friday your last on this
Yes.
tour?
So
Okay.
this Friday I drive up tomorrow to the Dallas area, and then in Denton at University of North Texas, I'm doing another recital with Craig Terry, who I'm very excited about doing. We've done recitals before. He's coming from Chicago to do a class on Thursday, and then I do a class on Wednesday. He does one on Thursday, and then on Friday we're doing a recital together that we've done at the Cleveland Art Song Recital Series last
Oh,
spring, and it's a little mixture of American and English song with a little bit of Poulenc, a little bit of Mozart, and then the second half is all Spanish art song.
oh my goodness. Amazing.
Fun, yeah,
Wow. Is
it's
that
fun.
something you've done a lot?
I like to do a lot of Spanish song. Yeah, I love things. Spain and Argentina have so much of it, but I'm trying to like put in some more Mexican composers, Maria Grever songs. I do a bunch of, but this actual second half is like one song per composer, and it's
Wow.
10 different composers, which is really nine different composers, which is exciting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, no pressure, but will you put this out as an album so we can all hear it?
Oh my God, I don't know that anybody wants to hear it. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
do. No, I do.
But
I want to hear
I
that.
would love to, and
All
we
right,
should
great.
ask anybody who's watching this who wants to put out a recording.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
Craig Terry would love to do a recording. It would
Great.
be so fun.
I can't wait to hear. Let's
Yeah.
just say it's happening. You
Yeah,
heard it here
exactly.
first. Uh,
Yeah.
and then totally switching, you're doing, going over to Mozart, doing an opera, and it's like opera, opera, opera. We have disguises, we have, you know, uh, identity switching, and all the shenanigans
Shenanigans of
of
Cozy Fun
Cozy.
Tuesday.
Yeah, which is just like
All the
over
good
the
and
top.
bad shenanigans of Mozart.
Yeah. Now, how many Cozys have you done?
I think this is number 5.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
which
you
is
know
great.
it. You're ready.
I've heard it before.
You've heard it before.
These are, there's always different cuts. There's
Yeah.
different, productions are completely different sometimes too. It brings out different things in the characters and the texts and all the things.
Yeah.
But it's still hard.
Oh yeah. I mean, come on. Yeah, Mozart, the worst.
I mean, the singing is just such, it's beautiful. The music is beautiful, but
Yeah.
it's also just, it's, you have to practice. I forget sometimes.
That's why I don't do Mozart. I don't practice. So
You sing Mozart beautifully, I'm sure. It's a matter of, it's ensemble singing.
yeah.
It's just constant. And then it's, nobody's really featured unless it's like one person solo. And then all of a sudden everybody's like screaming together. And it's brilliant though.
Yeah.
I would say Cozy's much better and easier to sing than it is to be in the audience for.
Well.
I want everybody to go watch it.
Yes.
I want everybody to go see it. Maybe you have to edit that part out.
No, it's
but
all right. Let's unpack that.
unpack
'Cause
that. Yeah.
we're here to promote this Cozy, and it's going to be riveting. But it's a problematic story, right?
Yes.
So how do we deal with that in 2023?
Exactly. I mean, I think so if we want to talk about the story, right? So
Yeah, sure.
I think finding out who the protagonists and antagonists are already, it's already like, what? Like who's good and who's bad? Are
Right.
the two guys who are going into this like bet? Like
Yes.
are they already like, oh, this is easy, I'll cheat on my girlfriend and then we'll try and get another girl to like us? And are they bad guys? Because they
Yes.
keep on talking about how they're not bad guys, but then
That-
they're doing the bad stuff.
That's exactly the clue. If they say they're not the bad guys, they're the bad guys.
Yeah. And then Don Alfonso is like, well, I'm just performing an experiment. This is
Yeah.
just, seeing But no, you're a bad guy too, Don
Oh,
Alfonso.
all the men are terrible.
Yeah.
It's basically the story of the world. So, yeah, it's
And then you go to Despina and the girls, and sometimes they say stuff, and you're like, but are you all actually caring about the people that you have just been like crying about for half an hour? Because now in the second act, all of a sudden they're like, and then you will take the brown one. Like, what? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's a weird,
it's
weird.
weird. It's weird. I
Yeah,
mean, listen, in the scheme of operas, it's not that weird
true.
because we deal with some weird old stories that make no sense, and the suspension of disbelief is real. I mean,
Yes.
in a lot of Mozart, we're dealing with, I mean, so many Mozarts were like, oh, it's, I'm in disguise now and I'm someone else,
Right.
be it in Nozze and in Giovanni and,
Yeah.
sure, many others.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's complex. I mean, I think it's also interesting to think about the time these were written and the form of entertainment they provided, and to think of it like, well, this is sort of like the Saturday Night Live of that period, and we also didn't expect the audience to sit there and like hang on every word at that time.
Mhm.
People were bringing their booze and their friends, and they were partying in their boxes, and it was very different. So I think
Yeah.
you know that helps to frame it. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's my theory on Cozy,
I
and
don't know.
it's that the women know the whole time.
Yeah. Okay. I get it. I like that.
It just helps.
No, for sure. I do think the women are stronger of character and value throughout the whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
I think it's good to play up way more comedy than sometimes is played,
yeah.
even in the second act, because really the second act, when everybody's going through all this like turmoil and you hear these amazingly heart wrenching, beautiful arias
Oh
of Per
yeah,
Pietà and
yeah,
all these things, you're like, but why are you so what how can you not understand that it's just this guy with a mustache on, you know what I mean? Like, I
yeah.
do, if you just play comedy and you realize like in the theater everybody else, when they were having their their second meal and fourth glass of wine,
Yeah.
were probably like yelling at her during
Yes.
Pietà, being like,
Yeah.
not a big deal, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 for sure. For sure. Well, here's the thing also. Here we are in 2023. We turn on Netflix, and the most watched shows this week, it's like The Perfect Match and Love is Blind. And it's like basically the same plot.
Yep.
So have we changed?
Right.
Got it.
Right.
Therefore, we've just discovered Cozy is the most relevant and perfect work ever written.
Right.
So,
And when you look at the ridiculousness of like The Bachelor, and
yeah,
you're like, those
exactly.
people can't be acting like that in real life,
Yeah,
like when they're not on TV.
yeah.
It's almost like, oh, Cozy fan tutte is these people performing what it's like to be in a relationship.
And
They're
there you have it. Yeah. So,
they're just performing what it means to feel like you're in love. You know what I mean?
yeah, well, and so much of relationships are performative because, especially in newer relationships, because we're presenting who we want to be, and
Mhm.
sometimes hiding who we are,
Yeah.
and presenting how we want to react to something versus how we actually feel. It's a whole thing. So
Yep.
yeah,
Well, in this production, it looks like the comedy will be like high on the list just from the pictures that I've seen, which is
love it,
really,
love it.
and it always depends on the cast how like heightened the level of one comic timing, but then also of sincerity and
Yeah,
generosity of
yeah,
like the excitement about bringing the story across.
yeah, yeah,
I think this cast is amazing.
yeah.
I'm super excited about everybody who's going to sing it. It's going to be
Sure.
fantastic.
Listen, Dallas
And
Opera doesn't mess around. They bring the best. You know.
best. Yeah, yeah.
So
Really, really lucky. It's every. I mean, also the voices are not like small Viennese size house of
no, sir. No, it's
singing. This
Texas
is going to
size.
be like Texas size.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's
I'm
gonna be
super
great.
excited.
Well, I'm excited for you, and I'm so excited that we just solved Cozy, and everything's clear now. So
We should have the Zach James and David Portillo production of uh Cosi fan tutte.
I'm
Of
yeah,
all the De Ponte.
yeah,
I mean, really, if you think about Don Giovanni,
Yeah.
it should be way funnier than it is.
Yeah.
Like when Don Giovanni tries to be really sexy, I'm like, no.
Oh, so gross. Such a car
Like,
salesman. Gross.
yeah,
Yeah.
like make it funny, like
Yeah.
I don't know.
When he
But
dies at the end, everyone should be rolling on the floor.
I mean, really, there's parts of that are so melodramatic, and it sounds like a horror movie, and people are like, "Oh, I have to be serious," and but I'm like, no, like,
Yeah. Well, especially if you look at like how it was done originally, and they had like people with bat wings flying through the air, and
yeah,
it's like this is a lot. We
it's
You went there.
yeah, you really went there. I love that scene in Amadeus, by the way,
It's
when
the
they do,
best. It's the best. Yeah. Yeah.
or when you watch like Abduction, where
That's
they're
my
just doing the
favorite.
ballet.
Yep. That's absolutely hands down like my favorite Mozart. Might be one of my favorite operas ever. Abduction.
Oh yeah,
So stupid and amazing.
dumb,
Yeah.
dumb. Have
I
you done as mean?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I bet you're scary,
I mean, I serve, but it's
and then you do comedy too. I'm sure.
oh, yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's a great just that yeah. If I could be any character in an opera, Constanza.
I mean,
Come on.
how fun. You're playing captive and you're getting all of these jewels and things and
Yes. Yes.
great.
Yeah, it's like Kunaganda done right
Yeah. But first,
first with more gifts.
with more gifts.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Opulence. Yeah, it's basically great. Yeah. Yeah, because Constanza, you have to be conflicted as Constanza. You have to be like, damn, my life's pretty good. You know?
Yeah. Like I should stay here. That's the thing. Like this turmoil of like whether or not you're good or bad is all it's in every opera. And
Yeah.
why does Mozart write these stories that were like so like cerebral over when it's like that's every story is whether or not somebody feels good doing bad things. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. I instantly think of this latest season of White Lotus
Oh my God. The best show
ever.
ever.
But it's kind of
Ever.
like a Mozart opera.
I would love to see a version of White Lotus. I like the first season as well too.
Oh my God.
I,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and the music, the score in that show
Yeah.
is so good.
Well, let's unpack season 2 of White Lotus and the use of operatic music in it and how it kind of, they really mirrored the plot through some of the music, which is really cool, which, a lot of people
One of
don't
my
realize.
one of my favorite lines of TV ever is "You remind me of a Puccini heroine," and
Yeah.
she goes, "Is that good?"
Yeah, and then they see Butterfly and she's waiting for Greg to return and we're hearing Umbel and it was perfect. Yeah.
Oh, and then spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it,
Yeah.
the boat,
About
the final scene. I've never like stood up watching a TV show at the end of like a drama.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was
When
so
the Dido and Aeneas and yeah, it was
yeah.
pretty wonderful. Okay, so here's a question for you.
Yes.
Jennifer Coolidge is an operatic character. What character is she?
I mean, I think he was referring to Tosca as far as like the opulence, elegance, and the whatever.
Yeah.
But then of course, like he could have also been referring to like I don't know. I'm trying to think of more. When I see her, I think of
Yes.
Tosca,
Sure.
and then she jumped. So there was that.
Right. When she says these gays they're trying to murder me, is she talking about Scarpia? What's going on there?
Oh, can you imagine Scarpia like owning like a gay club and being like, "You are my muse," because really that's what he wanted, right? He didn't necessarily always want,
Yeah, it
right?
was power for him, right? So probably after he got her, he'd be like, meh.
Right, or he had to use her in his club because
Yeah.
she was the best singer in the world,
Oh,
right? Wasn't she a singer? Is that
yeah.
what Tosca's about?
Yeah, so that's what she's about. Yeah. Listen, can I ask you some silly questions?
Of course.
Okay. Zodiac sign.
Cancer.
Favorite ice cream.
Um, it's called Nicolette Pothole, and it's from Sebastian Joe's Ice Cream in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's
That
very
was so
specific.
specific. What is in it?
It is a chocolate with chocolate fudge drizzled in it. A little bit of there's a like it's basically chocolate fudge. Let's just put it at that.
Okay.
There's some other sort of nut. I think it's pecan, but there's a nut involved.
Got it. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Very good. Mountains or beach?
Good question. Mountains.
Oh, surprised, but we'll take it. Yeah.
I mean, do you want me to explain?
Yeah.
So the beach is dirty.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I've thought a lot about this recently because we went to Puerto Vallarta last week.
Well, that's it.
And
Yeah.
so I mean, like, here's the deal. If I'm on the beach, I also kind of want a pool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And why you can have a pool in the mountains too, you know?
Yeah.
But I love to hike and I love to just walk and see more stuff. And I feel like with beach, it's a little bit of like, I'm going to sit here and look at this for the day.
Sure.
And I'll be good. But I still want to like go to the pool and yeah, and then like go out to dinner, you know?
Yeah. Got it. You need a full experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, dream vacation spot.
Oh, places I haven't been. I want to go to Indonesia and Thailand for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And places I have been that I really love. I actually just really like driving down Highway 1 in California. We did that a long time, like 6 years ago now. Beautiful and loved it. Want to go back. And I hope it's still there soon. Like, you know, like
Sure.
it's literally falling off of.
Yeah. Yeah. We hope for the best.
Yeah. I mean, parts of Highway 1 have been like destroyed, you know, but
Yeah.
let's hope it's like it's so beautiful out there. And I really like the Southwest. So we like to hike. So Grand Canyon was one of our really great fun hikes. I would love to go back there. I would love to go places I haven't been in Utah. There's a bunch of hikes that I want to do there. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Here's a tough one. You can have a weekend away with any 3 people who have ever lived.
Oh my God. This is the sort of stuff that you have to prepare me for.
No, just come on.
Who have ever lived.
Whatever.
Okay. Living or dead. Oh shoot. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna embarrass myself, I guess, because it feels like this is taking too long, Zach. I'm sorry.
Don't you worry. You think it out. We're here with you.
I'm gonna think it out. 3 people, and do they have to like each other?
No.
They don't have to know each other.
No.
Okay.
You're just planning a great trip for yourself for the weekend. You're gonna have dinner, lunch. You're gonna go on walks. You're gonna have philosophical talks. You can have one-on-ones.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna go with RuPaul. Definitely is one.
Well done.
I'm for many different reasons, but RuPaul's definitely there.
The right answer.
I'm trying to think of like a non-classical musician who I'm just like I have to meet that person, and really like there are Bjork is definitely
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
just like for the fun factor and like
Yes.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what to do.
Yes.
Yeah, so Bjork, RuPaul, and I mean like I don't know. I mean like
It's me.
and Zach James. Okay, let's say Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
She
yeah.
loves opera and she knows what's up.
Yeah. Also, like, I don't know about RuPaul, but I'm sure we could do 1 degree of separation with Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Bjork, because we did the Lars von Trier opera of Breaking the Waves, and Bjork worked with Lars von Trier on Dancer in the Dark.
Dancer in the Dark, which is one of my favorite movies. We might have talked about this back. Yeah.
And Ruth Bader Ginsburg has married everyone that we know in opera.
Right.
Opera.
I've actually met her.
Yeah, there you go. So
So
yeah, I was
invite.
sure. I was just about to ask you, did she marry you as well? Because you just never know anymore. Yeah. So RuPaul, I'm sure there's there's someone that yeah, but
Yeah.
well done. Yeah,
I think that's a good 3.
that's a great.
I'm
3.
happy about that 3. Yeah.
No, that's a great 3. I'm there. Yeah, I'm like in the bushes.
Oh, great. Okay.
I'm there.
Well, then come. You're invited.
Well, we have to follow the rules. You got.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be the cameraman.
Right. Well, you were before Ruth Bader Ginsburg, so.
Well, that was a joke. Yeah.
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 I mean, it didn't really,
All right.
Do you like New York? Are you a New York fan? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Yes.
Nice.
I have 2 Bjork songs which are life changing. One is Virus.
Okay.
The other is All Is Full of Love.
All is full of love. Oh my gosh. I know I'm old and this is dating me, but the whole album of Post, I mean it was in my senior year of high school when I just put that in and played it nonstop.
Because
That Hyper Ballad, the first song, like so good. So good.
You wouldn't be here now without that.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely
Basically defined it.
Well, it's so funny because I know a lot of people who like her and who are way cooler than me, and I'm like, but I liked it too, but I sing opera.
That's like hipster though. You're like
Is it?
a radical hipster. Yeah.
I'm a radical hipster.
So way cooler than you know.
What would make me a hipster if I were to be a hipster?
That you listen to Bjork and now you sing opera.
And now I sing opera. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And you're like wearing a black t-shirt and a chain, but in like your mom's house in Texas.
In my mom.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm starting to wear the chain all the time now.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm not the first one.
Yeah. All right, I have 2 final questions for you, and they're a little tough, so don't be mad. But the first one is, you can go back in time to any moment in your life and tell your younger self in that moment one thing.
Don't worry so much. I got that. It wasn't that hard. Okay. I was just telling somebody that today because I was like, I kind of want to tell all as singers this, when singers ask you stuff, it's like, you just prepare and do the work and then don't worry about the stuff you can't change. Like,
Yup.
I still need to tell myself that sometimes.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Like the plight of an artist, Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah. That's some good advice. Okay. Final question is,
Yes.
What is the meaning of life?
RuPaul, Bjork, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg. No, I mean, be really good to people.
Yeah.
Be good to each other, and then, find the joy that makes you be even gooder to each other.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it's all about.
It sounds stupid.
No, it's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I feel like with the whole thing about us trying to make this high art, we're all swimming in this very high levels of anxiety about super small details.
Right.
And really, it's like the biggest small detail is whether or not we are all enjoying each other's company and really enjoying the process and doing it.
Yeah.
Beyond that, you can't worry about that. Like I said, don't worry about it as much. You just work and you be good to each other.
Enjoy it. That's where the magic comes.
Yeah.
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 Amazing. What a pleasure.
Oh my gosh, it's all mine.
No, it's me.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
When do I see you en person?
I don't know. I'm sure we always run into each other now. So
Somewhere, yeah.
for years.
Like on the train.
Yeah, since Breaking the Waves, on the train, while I'm on awkward first dates.
How did that go, by the way?
Well, I'm single, so. So yeah.
Well, They seemed very nice.
I don't even remember who it was, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's
I thought it was. I was like, am I being awkward by doing this by saying like, hey?
literally have no idea who that was.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good.
But we lasted.
Well,
So,
we last exactly.
here we
We're
are.
here now.
Well, listen, have the best recital on Friday, and all the toys for Cozy. I hope it's your favorite Cozy yet, and that you find the joy and spread the love.
Oh my gosh, such a pleasure being here with you. Thank you for having me, and I'm so glad to see your face.
Yeah, it's great to see you too.
Yeah.
And I'll be seeing you on the train or elsewhere.
Let's do it.
That's all for today's episode. Puppies and rainbows till we meet again.